Underground base? So the volcano and secret island weren't available, huh?
Hey guys, welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Spider-Man Web of Shadows Amazing Allies Edition for the PS2. In the last part we took on Kraven, and even though he was all like hunched and had his teeth, we beat him up, and that was pretty fun. So now we've gone through the sewers and we've found the secret lab, although it still looks very sewer-esque. I said in the last part how I didn't really like how that level was a bit ugly. I think I was probably being a bit unfair, because I don't know how you can make a sewer level look good. And this kind of whole level as well, it doesn't look that good. I'm not saying that this is the pinnacle and that there's no way they could do any better because it's an underground base sort of thing, but I don't know, I guess it can look only so good. Like, I was trying to think before doing this part, are there any sewer levels that look good? So, I mean, I guess the solution would be to just avoid it completely, but anyway, so the first part of this level, the whole thing is that you're going down different elevators, but you get to choose what to do on these first few. So you can either just not do anything, you can open up the elevator, I mean if you want, that's what you're meant to do to progress, but also you can just say grant security access, and if you do that these robots will come. But you can just choose not to fight them, you just hit the right button. But the only reason why you would fight them is for experience, but this game, there's no point going for experience. That might sound weird to say, but there's just zero benefit to it. Maybe there is, maybe I'm being ignorant, but as far as I can tell, you might as well not bother. Like, you might as well just not fight the robots. So the best thing to do is that you have to fight these guys to hit the elevator button. So you hit the button, and then I would not bother. Don't delete cookies. I mean, you can do if you want, but I would not recommend doing that. Don't fight the robots, just get through. Because I was saying in the last part how that last level, level 3, is playable. You know, I was being very nice, I feel. I was like, hey, I don't like this game, but this is a playable level. This level is not good. The last one wasn't too bad. The gimmick was very clear, it was very specific, it was like, hey, here are some trains, avoid the trains, here are some traps, avoid the traps. This one, you get elevators, so you gotta hit the button, and you gotta go down the elevator, so that's a hoot, but it's just not good. So the first reason why it's not good is you get stuff like that. You can see I was killed by something off screen, because usually I would just edit out deaths, but I feel like when it's a bad game, sometimes it's kind of, I want to leave the deaths in. Because you could see there, I swung in, I tried to fight all the enemies that the game just threw at me, saying I'm just going to edge and be a little bit more careful, I guess. And then I got killed by something that was off screen, because that big robot that we fought before, they're all throughout this level, and they can just shoot lightning at you off screen, which is, you know, that's fair, and that's fun. So the best thing to do with those things is try and get as close as you can as possible, because once you're near the robot, you can just like beat them up. It's not that kind of big of a deal, but up until then, they can just off screen, just bam, you're dead, as you just saw. And then the other type of enemy we have are those small robots, and so like there's so many enemies that they throw at you, and I guess the game wants you to fight them all, but it's just too annoying. So, and you don't need the XP, so I find the best thing to do is that you gotta just run through, because you can just, there's just too many. There's just too many. And then once again I get killed off screen by a robot. Thought I'll keep that one in as well, because this checkpoint can take you a good while. If you go down, there's some health, but you got to fight some enemies to get the health, so it's not worth it. So just head up and round, and that's where you kind of got to go. And because they're like, I don't know, this probably doesn't look that bad on the like this footage doesn't look too bad. I'm jumping over them, it's fine. But the trick to this is that there are some enemies that you have to take down, and there's some that you don't. The ones that you do are the floating robots. that we've seen, because they shoot lasers and they will follow you and they will hit you and you'll fall down and you'll have to climb all the way back up again. But these yellow guys you don't have to fight, so you kind of just have to figure out where the little robots appear, only fight them, and then just go to the specific parts where they appear, destroy them, move on, because they die in one hit, so they're not too bad. But it's just like, I don't know what it is. I just want to, when I'm playing this game, I just want to get through it. I just want to, you start in A, and you gotta get a B, and I'm like, I really want to get a B. I can't wait to get to B and like move on from this. But the game really isn't designed like that, which in any other game would be fine. It's like, oh, you got to beat the enemies to beat the level? Yeah, of course you do. And it's like, any other game it would be fine, but with this one, I just don't want to have to deal with the combat. Because I've already mentioned some problems with the combat, missing attacks or whatever, but another problem is that you can't dodge. I think I've already mentioned this actually. But something you're going to be seeing a lot more, if you haven't seen it already, is that you get surrounded because enemies go through you. So they're going to attack you at all sides, but you have no dodge or spider sense ability. So you just have to jump like an idiot. And in Web of Shadows, the DS version, because you know the DS version is also 2D, I believe you had some sort of spider sense dodge or a block or something along those lines, some sort of defensive move. I can't remember if that's the case, but at least in that game what you could do is that you got enemies on both sides, so what you could do is just swing, and you had a swinging kick that you unlocked really early on. So if you just swung, held like attack, you could just kick all the enemies, launch them up into the air, and it was like a nice way of resetting where you get a bit overwhelmed, so you're like, okay, I need to recover, so you do the swing, you kick them all down. It was, you know, fun. But this one you don't do that, so you just kind of have to just jump around awkwardly, and then you kind of swing to the side, and because the enemies, oh yeah, here we go, there's just instant kill fans. I don't know why, the only things down there is health. So the only reason you would go down there is to get some health, but there's some instant kill fans, so it's just like pointless, and the checkpoint's right there. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're there. Just completely pointless. You're Spider-Man, so you can just swing over them. You would only go down there if you're curious to see, oh, what's down there? And then it's just an instant kill thing, or health, but you probably don't need health, and there's a checkpoint right there, so you can just die and get it anyway. It's like weird.
I really shouldn't be fighting.
It's weird. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, so there's no proper dodge, so enemies will constantly go through you in a group. You'll try and punch them, you'll just miss for no reason, and they'll go through you to attack you on the other side, but they will always do this. It's not something that will just happen like a couple times in a fight. They will always try and surround you, so you always just have to jump and punch. And I also believe that I don't think there are combos. I was saying before how there were combos, but I've been experimenting a little bit more just to confirm. And because I was thinking about it, like with Web of Shadows on the DS again, I believe you could uppercut. You know, so that was good. Like there were set moves with using the combos. So like with the uppercut, you could decide like, okay, I'm gonna do like XXB or whatever it was. I can't remember. It's been like 3 years at this point since I played that game. And then you could do the uppercut, and you could execute it. So you could be like, okay, I want to launch these enemies in the air so I can juggle them, and then I can swing back down and knock out the other enemies. With this one, you can't do that. I think there is uppercuts and way to launch them into the air, but I don't know how to do it. But it doesn't seem to be like a set combo. Like I was pressing square and triangle in different things, and he was just hitting them, and that was it. And this is quite funny. This is another example of if it only had voice acting, this would be quite amusing. Because that guard just told us, hey, I don't want to be a guard anymore because I want to go and work in a botanical garden. Or botanical garden. And he wants to be a gardener. He just loves working with trees and plants, so he's just gonna quit and leave. Like, that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Tickled me. So with this guy, he can shoot electric at you straight away and kill you, so you just zip up and zip down. Again, with a lot of the stuff in this game, I just kind of do it automatically because I played the level. But you just zip up, zip down, done. And if you die, he changes colour. I don't know why, I guess it's a glitch. There's quite a few glitches in this game, but unfortunately I haven't been able to record too many of them, which is a shame, because there are a few. You will just naturally like go into them or find them, and that's one of them. If you get killed by the robot, you spawn, here's a different colour. Awesome. And now we have a really fun quest to do. Oh god, if you remember in the first level, one of the quests was find a cat, and another one was find a sandwich, and that we did those for some reason. And now we just have stuff where it's just, these are apparently double agents, so all you got to do is pick them up and walk them to the lift, because there's two of them. We already did one. You just go down on the elevator, talk to them, pick them up, take them there. It's so dull. It's like, there's a side mission, or there's a side quest in the next one that is so dumb that it's awesome. Like the cat and sandwich stuff. But this one is just like, why is this here? It's just, you go right, you pick him up, you go left, you pick him up, you go right, and that's it. And then they don't even go anywhere. They just run here, and that's it. No, boom. So logically you would think, oh okay, they're running to the exit, they're getting out of here, I should follow them. That's not a door, you don't have to go that way at all, instead you have to zip up above the elevator and go in that gap. Which isn't complicated, like you can figure it out. Oh there, here we go. There's a wall, if you like. It's not the best loading screen in the world, but whatever. There we go. A real loading screen. It should show the wall. But yeah, it's like, I didn't think to go upwards, to go from where the elevator came. Because your instinct would be like, right, defeat the robot. Now I've got to hit, like, now I've got to go down the elevator. Then you go there and it's just a side quest. But then you see that the guards go left, so you would go left. You just kind of, obviously it's Spider-Man, so he can kind of climb in a lot of different places. But you just kind of don't think it in this game. It seems to be a bit random when it says, okay, now, no, sometimes it's just traditional side-scroller platforming rules, and sometimes it's, okay, now do a Spider-Man thing, like climb up to where the elevator came from. But there's like nothing else like that. And then we got this section, which isn't horrible. There's a load of turrets here that look really weird, which you just kind of have to completely ignore if you want. Yeah, there's just a bunch of crushers. That's like a really simple section. You don't actually have to really do much. So I don't know why I'm still talking about it. And yet we have the exact same room! Again! The exact same setup. It just plonks you in this room. Like, I feel weird complaining a lot about this game, because obviously it's not that good, but who would expect it to be? But I don't know, I feel like even a bad game kind of, there was effort put in here, and I think the main problem with this game, and I'll probably talk about it more later down the road, is that this could have been a really cool, simple, fun, platforming, or old school style beat them up. But it isn't. It just isn't. It's too rough. But now we have something again. This is another funny kind of setup. So we have found Jonah J. Jameson and he's been locked up and he's been cloned. Like, I actually stopped so you could read the dialogue here, but I'm still going to sum it up. Anyways, if that, I don't think that's a good thing to do. Anyway, so yeah, so he's been locked up because Spencer Smythe, I can't remember if I said Smythe or Smith in the last part, but it is Smythe. This is his lab, apparently. So he's kidnapped Jonah Joe Jameson and has cloned him, and it's a little weird. This kind of comes out of nowhere. You're just going through this secret lab and then boom, you got clones of Jameson. And one is the normal one, and then one is the nice one. The clone is nice, but you can see also, look, his hand is just sticking out. Ooh. When I saw that bug, I wasn't even annoyed. I was just like, that's awesome that his hand just sticks out and the model just kind of is solid like that. But now we finally get our first look at the symbiotes, which have a completely different design, and now it's on fire and gone. But that's something I actually really like. I like that the first look you get is them in a tube. Tube, 2, I don't know, is them in a container. So you can actually look and study and kind of see them. In the other games, they just kind of throw these creatures at you and there you go. But this one, I actually really like it because you get that moment of, oh god, look at that creature. Look how horrible that kind of looks. And you get to actually really check out its design. But anyway.
It's the bug. I'm gonna break you in half, then crush you into paste, then stomp on you again. Then something else.
What do you call this place? The Rhino Cave? The Rhino Hole? Ooh, I just grossed myself out.
Right, so the Rhino. For this level, it's the Rhino that we're facing off. I also really like that there's a boss battle at the end of every level. Really ties it together really nicely. Anyway, this fight can be really annoying, but for this fight, I mean, we've already seen it, there's two different types of fights. There's fights where it's a one-on-one kind of battle and they have very normal kind of attacks. And then there's ones where there's set times that you should attack them and it's more telegraphed and it's more about the pattern. We've been alternating so far and we're going to keep that pattern up because this is similar to Electro's fight, no not Electro's fight, the Shocker's fight where it's telegraphed. And the trick is that you don't let him smash into walls because he can, if he hits you, he can instantly kill you. So the trick is keep to the middle of the stage as much as possible and jump over his head. Don't use your summons, you don't need them, but if you let him smash into the wall, if you're attached to the wall then you'll fall down. And because to avoid him you automatically jump up and grab onto the wall, on that last phase, that can be really annoying. Which is odd because in the cutscenes it makes it look like what you're meant to do is jump on top of those supports and then stay up there until he smashes and then hit him, but that's not what you should do. Just let him run and then jump over. I actually wanted more time to explain, but it's the end of the part, so I will see you next time for part 5.